The caption of today's video is "What the F is going on in the British royal family?" I would like to start off with something that is perhaps less important and something which I guess up until now could be expected, and that is of course Meghan's posting of her video with Edward Enninful of Vogue that was taken last year in August. Now in this video, as you all perhaps already know, Meghan appears with Edward. She had brought them some glittery, stupid party hats, and they sit blowing on little hooters, pipes, whatever it's called, little horns that they're blowing on. How infantile. How not like a Duchess. For God's sake, if they wanted to celebrate, get an expensive bottle of champagne and clink a glass on your so-called success. But to sit there with little glittery party hats, which I think a 12-year-old would be embarrassed to be seen in, is just infantile. It is stupid. What does this say about Meghan, who is supposedly highly intelligent? It tells me there's something seriously wrong with her. We all know that she's a narcissist, and if you still do not believe it, then go read up on narcissism. She ticks each and every block. But, like with many other syndromes, it often goes hand in hand with something else. And what I see in Meghan is someone who is overly body conscious. I see someone who is way immature for her years. There is something seriously wrong with this woman. And then we come to the question of why. Why is she posting this video now? Firstly, it is a video from months ago. Now we can go and say, well, she has nothing else to post. I don't think that is true, because all of us would love to see a live Archie. We would love to see them happy in Canada, because after all, that is why they went there. Why not just post a pretty picture of the three of you in front of some lake in Canada? Why do you have to go and post a video of you being woke and cutesy and just plain dumb that was taken in August last year? And I have a suspicion that it is because she was told not to. Palace aides have told her, and media experts have told her not to post the video. And what did Meghan do? She went right ahead and posted the video. Now to me, that supports my theory that she is darn childish. She is immature. She's doing exactly what a 13-year-old would do, a rebellious 13-year-old, not what a 38-year-old woman would do. The other option, secondly, is that this could be Meghan showing the royal family the middle finger, telling them, F you. I don't know whether it's the first option or the second. In my opinion, it's probably both. And then we go on to their so-called Stanford visit. Now, Meghan and Harry allegedly visited Stanford University on Tuesday to meet with professors about the new charitable foundation they are launching, apparently, allegedly. Now, going back to her Vogue video, why couldn't Meghan then rather post a photograph or photographs of their visit to Stanford University? I would really like to know that. I mean, this is a recent endeavor. It's what they are busy with now. This is supposedly their future. So why isn't she promoting their current activities, which is supposedly pointing to what they will be doing in the future? Promote your future endeavors then. Why post something from months ago while you were still, in inverted commas, in the royal family? It just doesn't make sense. And whereas I believed they attended the JP Morgan summit, I find it very hard to believe that they actually went to Stanford University, and I will tell you why. Because as far as the JP Morgan summit is concerned, they were paid to be there. $515,000 to be exact. And secondly, I do not expect someone like Bill Gates to pull out his cell phone and take a photograph of Meghan and Harry. And thirdly, this is an annual summit, which is apparently very secretive in any event. So yes, I can believe that they were at the JP Morgan summit. However, I find it very hard to believe that they were at the Stanford University, because the university is a different matter. They went there to discuss their future charitable foundation. Now, why go to university to discuss a foundation which you intend setting up? Why not discuss this with a business manager, someone in the financial sector, an attorney? Why university professors, firstly? Secondly, it's a university. Surely they arrived in some kind of fancy vehicle with security. Now, I find it very hard that there was no student, no young lecturer around who would flip out his cell phone and take a photograph. This is a whole different environment. The other thing is, there are universities in Britain as well. Why didn't she make a fuss and visit British universities if she is really all about education? It actually says in the article, if I read here, they'd spoken about the importance of breaking down barriers to access education. Meghan also wove the mission into her royal tours, from spending time highlighting the efforts being made to encourage girls into and stay in education during their February 2019 visit to Monaco, to stopping by the University of Johannesburg during this fall's trip to Africa. She spoke at the university in Monaco. Remember, that is where she said she paid for her own education, which was one big whopping lie. But then it still begs the question, if she's really serious about education, Why didn't she go around visiting universities in Britain? I don't know. This is absolutely beyond me and truly cringe-worthy. And I have no idea why the British royal family do not stop this. And by stopping this, I don't mean stopping them from working, because that is darn well what they should be doing. And as I said before, Harry is not going to become a dentist, a doctor, or plumber, or builder, or anything else anytime soon, or even at all. So we can expect them to make more of these visits at different events. And in principle, I have no problem with it. But they should stop riding on their titles. They should stop using their titles to get into different places, different events, because they are no longer representing the monarchy. Then they're also getting paid to attend these events, something which someone from the British monarchy should not be doing. They should not be getting payment to make these visits. And particularly not if they are canvassing for a foundation, a charitable foundation, which by now I think we also know that their foundation will be for one charity only, and that will be the Harry and Meghan charity, with maybe 5% going to some charity, and that is only if they can't get round the loophole. So this is highly embarrassing, or should be highly embarrassing to the monarchy. And I am really, really livid at this. And I do hope they visit South Africa again. Because honestly, next time they are due to visit here, I will start a campaign way ahead of their visit to have them kicked the hell out. Because they are nothing more than users. They use people. And unfortunately, as much respect as I have for the Queen, and having softened towards Charles, I'm afraid my opinion and my feelings are now being reversed. Because this is just not acceptable. And then there were the articles about Meghan and Harry axing all 15 of their UK staff, and of course it's seen as a sure sign that they will never return to Britain to live. Oh well, I think at this stage it actually comes as a relief to the public. However, what it does show is that when Meghan and Harry made their decision to leave the royal family or to leave Britain, that they thought of nobody but themselves. Selfish, childish, narcissistic, what more can we say? I'm not going to go in on who's losing their jobs and who will be absorbed into the royal household. I think other YouTubers like Murky Meg, etc. had discussed this at length. I'm more about the psychology behind it, and I honestly feel after reading these articles that the upcoming Commonwealth celebrations or Commonwealth Day will go down much better without Harry and Meghan. Let them stay in Canada or in California or wherever they are, but please take their titles, stop them from merging the royal family. Once they are no longer the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, I for one will not care where they go, to which university or to which summit. It will just be none of our business. They're private citizens then, and they can do what they want. But please, as representatives of the royal family, I personally would prefer not to see them again. And that is all I have to say about this. Now on to another member of the royal family, Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew again hit the headlines with his affiliation with yet another millionaire, billionaire, pedophile. Prince Andrew's on Bahamas visit to second tycoon facing child sex claims. Duke and family stayed with Peter Nygard, I'm sure I'm butchering his surname, and quite honestly, I'm not even asking for your help on this one because I do not care to know what this idiot's pronunciation of his surname is. Anyway, Peter Nygard, who is accused of raping teenagers and plying them with wine and drugs. It's claimed Nygard, Peter, raped them, forced them into performing deviant acts, and Andrew and his family visited him on his lavish estate in the Bahamas in 2000. Yet again, if one reads the article, this visit took place after this man was already facing accusations in court for sexually deviant acts and sexual harassment. Yet Andrew thought it was okay to take his family on a visit to this idiot's lavish estate in the year 2000. Now, if we haven't wondered what's wrong with Andrew before, I think we certainly should be wondering what's wrong with Andrew now, because it's now becoming even more obvious that there is something very wrong with this man. Now, the point I wish to make, I understand that in the UK the age of consent is 16. Now, if I'm wrong, then please correct me, but according to what I get from Google, the age of consent in the United Kingdom is 16. Therefore, as disgusting as it is that Andrew had sexual relations with a 17-year-old, legally in the United Kingdom, he cannot be prosecuted. However, as these so-called relations also took place elsewhere, where the age of consent is 18, obviously he can be persecuted elsewhere. And that is obviously also why Andrew is refusing to go to the United States, and why he's hanging on to his mommy's skirts, because for as long as he sticks close to her, he cannot be removed or arrested. So that's easy to understand why he's sticking around the royal family and why he's refusing to go to the United States to speak to the FBI. Now, I think if we all think logically, we also understand that Andrew may not have been involved in the actual trafficking, but only involved in making use of the services that Epstein and Maxwell presented to him, as disgusting as we may find even that. Yeah, so with him now being involved with yet another so-called tycoon who was allegedly involved in trafficking children as young as 14. The so-called making use of services is now becoming very suspicious, and makes one wonder whether perhaps he assisted in the actual trafficking. Of course, we cannot say that he did or that he was involved, but you know, I personally do not believe in coincidence, and this is becoming too much. I also believe that if Andrew is innocent, and I'm saying this in inverted commas, or if he could in any way spin himself out of the Epstein and Peter Nagard story, yet still help the FBI with information that he has on these two men, that the Queen and Charles should advise him or even force him to do so, because to play into the hands of these elite pedophiles and traffickers is just utterly revolting and does not reflect well on the royal family, or shall I say the decision makers in the royal family. And if this is allowed to persist, I think that the royal family's future would be in jeopardy. If you disagree with me, I would really like to hear your opinion. And for those of you on my Facebook page who asked why do I even care about Andrew and Epstein and this dude, I've got a piece of news for you. In Epstein's little black book, there were a number of names and telephone numbers of South Africans. And for my South African viewers, all you need to do is go onto the website of, for instance, the Pink Ladies, to see how many of our children actually disappear annually. In our country, it is so common that it does not even make the main media and news streams. It's the odd one here or the odd one there, where the abduction took place in a public place that actually still makes the news, but for the rest, hardly ever. One needs to be interested and actually go onto, for instance, the Pink Ladies Facebook page or website to actually know how many children disappear from our country on a daily, monthly and yearly basis. And then you guys turn around and call me names for being interested, for taking an interest in what these disgusting elite pedophiles are doing. Where the heck do you think your children are disappearing to? Those who are not found dead or not found, where do you think they went to? Just round the corner, just the other side of the mountain? No, I'm afraid many of them have gone overseas, never to be found again. And if you think that our politicians, past and present, are innocent, think again. And next time, before you argue with me or call me names, please go do your homework. And for now, that is all I have to say on this subject. But I'll be back. I have promised to do a final video on the Van Rijn saga. But it has been very difficult with, let me put it this way. It is very difficult for me to do that final video because having been resident in South Africa for 56 years, I know what to expect and I know what the reaction on that final video will be. But I will make it. I'm waiting for the right time and for my own circumstances to be more suitable to actually make that final video. And what a revelation that will be. So this is my serious video for the week. I am planning on making a short funny video just to relieve the stress and the pressure again. So until then, I'm saying bye. Peace out. Bye.
Remember to like, subscribe, and click that little bell. Please drop a dime in my granny's PayPal cup if you will.